What's up, guys? Scotty2 Hockey here, and a rough, tough game for the Habs tonight, but they can win it. It's not going to be easy. They're playing a tough team with a good record, with great goaltending, very solid defense, not the best offensive output. So if Montreal wins tonight, they're going to need to put a few goals on the board, get on them early. This is a team, if you can get up 2 or 3 against them early, you should be able to win the game. But if they can shut you down, get an early lead, and start playing their style of hockey, it's going to be tough to come back. And that's the New York Islanders. Montreal versus New York Islanders tonight. As for Montreal, they won their last game 3-1 against the Detroit Red Wings. Carey Price set the record, 315 wins. Price stands alone as the all-time winningest had. Get that man a cup. If he gets a Stanley Cup, there is definitely an argument for him being the greatest Habs goalie of all time. Currently, it's Wah. Price would have to do a lot more, but he could surpass the all-time win leads. But by the time he's done with 100 wins, and he could have a cup there with it, along with his gold medal and him winning all those accolades he won before, there would be an argument, but the man needs a cup, and he can get it. You look at the teams these other players had. Wah had a couple shabby teams. His rookie year, the team wasn't great by no means, but you look at the teams Dryden had. There's no comparison what Price had in the playoffs. The one good year, he did have a very good team where Galchenyuk scored 30 goals, Pacioretty scored 30 goals. Look how phenomenal his numbers are, and look what he done. He took away all that hardware. Fortunately, he didn't get a cup out of it. Anyways, let's get into the numbers, guys. Montreal, 37, 26, and 7. 81 points. They're currently 4th in the Atlantic Division. Their last 5 games, they're 2-3-0. So let's hope they can get back on a winning track, get a streak going, not just win a game, lose a game. They can't afford to do that at this point in the season. Their last game, they won 3-1 against the Detroit Red Wings in a game Carey Price stole. They weren't the best defensively. Domi had a good game. Tatar had a good game. But you look up at, I know Detroit didn't have as many shots, but you look at the opportunities they did give up. There was a lot of defensive breakdowns. The defense has looked hard lately. I'm not really liking what I'm seeing from the Ben line lately. Ben has been great most of this year for Montreal. He's having one of his best years statistically, and he has been very good, solid third line pairing. You can put him on the second line, but the past few games, in the Anaheim game and last game, you can see he looks like he's getting tired. Montreal's power play is abysmal, 12.3%, but it was much more promising last game. They had a couple of nice set plays. That play that Drouin made behind the net out front to Deneau right off the hop in their first power play. They almost scored on it immediately. Unfortunately, Bernier was on his game, but they did look a lot better. Got to take what you can, whatever positivity you can from this power play. Got to be optimistic. Their power penalty kills pretty solid, 80.3. It's going up. Their penalty kill looks great every game. Got nothing bad to say about their penalty kill. Their goals for is a solid 211. Their goals against is 208. It's only a +3 differential, but they are scoring. That's the main thing. Carey Price, 53 games played, 27, 20, and 5. 2.59 goals against and a .914 save percentage, and the all-time winningest had with 315 wins in his last game. What a great game for Price. Montreal's leaders, the same they've been for the past month and a half, and this guy, Domi, had 2 goals last game. Great game. He's still the leader. Excuse me, guys, 1 second. Domi has been excellent all season for Montreal. He's the scoring leader with a +11. And, hang on, guys, I got to fix my mouth here. Anyways, back to Domi. 70 games played, 24 goals, 38 assists, 62 points. Not a +11, excuse me, +14. Drouin, 69 games played, hasn't had a point in a while, is down to a -2. He really needs to pick his game up. I know a lot of guys get on Drouin. His work ethic just isn't there. He has the talent. He's a great player. We've all seen what he's capable of. He's very fast. When he wants to skate, he looks great. He just needs better work ethic. He just needs to show up, stop taking these games off, stop coasting. And I'm not the only one saying it. There's every Habs fan I hear, there's some kind of complaint about Drouin. Drouin has 50 points, 33 assists, and he's a -2 for 17 goals. Tatar, he had 2 assists last game. Good game for Tatar. He always plays good against his former teams. 68 games played, 22 goals, 28 assists, 50 points, and a +17. As for the Islanders, they're having a great year, a bounce-back year. They look so much better with Tavares. This 1 year without Tavares looks better than every year Tavares was there. 40 wins, 22 losses, 7 overtime losses. They're currently 2nd in the Metro Division. Their last 5 games, they're 3-2-0. Their last game, they did the Habs a favor, and they beat Columbus 2-0. Their power play is 15.2%, so their power play isn't spectacular. Obviously, it's better than Montreal's. Montreal is dead last in the league on the power play, so it isn't hard to be better than that. but 15.2, not spectacular. Their penalty kill is pretty similar to Montreal, 80.9. Their goals for is 209. Their goals against is impressive, 168. So it shows they don't put out a lot of goals. They don't have a crazy goal scoring total, but they do have very, very good goals against. And as for their goalies, both their goalies have very similar numbers, and they're both very good. Robin Leonard, 38 games played, 20 wins, 11 losses, 5 overtime losses, 2.99 goals against, and a .927 save percentage. People were saying earlier in the season, halfway through the season, Robin Leonard should be a Vezina candidate. His backup is too good and too similar to him to make him a Vezina candidate. It would be a slap in the face to Greiss, because Greiss has just as good, if not better, numbers than Leonard. Neither one has the wins to win a Vezina anyways, realistically. Greiss, 37 games played, 20 wins, 11 losses, 2 overtime losses, a 2.26 goals against, and .927 save percentage. So almost both of New York's goalies have a .927 save percentage. They both have a winning record, and they both have under 3 goals against. Their team total is only 168 goals against, so that shows how good they are. Their differential is 32, plus 32. Much better than the Habs, but they only have 200 goals put up. I was kind of surprised. Their scoring leaders don't have astronomical numbers. They don't have great scoring leaders. This is a team that does it with solid defense, goaltending, and scoring at opportunities that they do get. And their special teams ain't great, so their special teams isn't what's doing it for them either. Their leaders, Matt Barzal, is having a good sophomore year, 69 games played, 17 goals, 38 assists, 55 points, and he's a -11, so he's not doing it the best defensively, but he is a solid player for sure. He's having a great sophomore year. Josh Bailey, 69 games played, 14 goals, 36 assists, 50 points, a +8. He's having a solid year as well. And Anders Lee is their third leading scorer. 69 games played, 24 goals, 20 assists, 44 points, and is a +14. Now, my keys to victory for tonight's game: get out to an early lead. New York is a team, if you can get up 2 or 3 on them, even go up 2 into the second period, they do have trouble scoring. They aren't a team that's going to catch up. If you can get the lead on New York, a decent lead, you can win. They depend on getting an early lead and winning close games. You look at most of the games, they're mostly close games or shutouts for their goalies. Both their goalies have been solid all year. The record wouldn't be half as good as what it was if Greiss and Leonard weren't playing like they were. They do have solid defense. This is not a team you want to give the lead and you want to play catch-up against, because they're going to be hard to catch. Once they get that lead, they can maintain it, and their goaltenders can stand on their head and completely... Not only can their goaltenders win games for them, their goaltenders can steal games for them. They have the type of goalies that can steal games for them. They've had spectacular performances this year. Montreal did beat New York this year. I believe it was 4-3 in November. Don't hold me to that, but that's what I'm remembering. I know Montreal has beaten the Islanders this year. It's going to be a tough task. They're going to play the Islanders again after this. I believe in about a week, 9 days after this, they play the Islanders again. So I wouldn't be shocked if they lost one of these 2 games, but I'm hoping they can pull out this game tonight, because I want to see them win 2 or 3 in a row. They had a good win last night after a rough West Coast road trip. They got a good few games at home now. Yes, there are some tough teams, so it'd be good to see them rack up points against playoff teams, because out of the next 12 games, they have, I believe, only 5 or 9 playoff teams, and all the rest are playoff teams. Islanders are playoff teams. So if they can rack up wins against the Islanders, if they can win that Carolina game, they can win that Columbus game that they got, that would be good. These points are super valuable at this point in time in the league. Even overtime wins. Get points out of whatever games you can. My prediction was 9-4 down the stretch. So far, since I made that prediction, they're 1-0. Let's see how they go in the next 12. I'm hoping they can do it. Anyways, guys, before I end this video, I'd like to shout out a few channels that I like, that I've been watching for quite a while. Hot Take Hockey is a great channel. John does good live streams. He's a super non-biased hockey fan. He's a fan of all 31 teams, has plenty of knowledge of the game, and his live streams are always hype. He loves getting new subs, so check out that channel. Talking Habs with Rick is one of my favorite channels. Guy got about 50 years worth of Habs knowledge, and it's good to hear his insight and his predictions on games. And Scotian Canadiens, he's the original guy I started watching. When I started watching my Habs channels and really got into Habs channels, he gets pumped. He has a lot of good reviews. He does reviews and recaps, and he talks about prospects, so his channel's really good too. And of course, the hockey guy, he isn't a Habs fan, but he does have a ton of hockey knowledge, and he's great for watching reviews. If you're at work and you can't watch SportsCenter or watch Sportsnet, flick on the hockey guy, throw in your headphones. He's going to tell you detail by detail how every team won, who scored what goal, what their records are. So he's great for that too. So the big shout out to those channels. I love those channels. I'm subscribed to all of them. You should check them out. And of course, subscribe to my channel because I will have reviews, recaps. I got a good Carey Price video coming up eventually. I want to get my notes together for it. I want to compare him to Dryden and why is the greatest. But there is an argument Price is better than Dryden. Dryden didn't do great when he had a lot of shots against him. And look at the teams he played with. They're crazy. Look at the era he played in and the teams he played with. They absolutely owned hockey. They weren't just the best team. They owned hockey. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. Who do you think is going to win tonight? And watch your predictions. And let's hope Carey Price has a great game tonight. I didn't say Niemi stats or Lindgren stats because we know it's going to be Price in that tonight. That man needs a cup. Get him a cup. Get him a reason to be the greatest goalie of Montreal history. If he can get a Stanley Cup and he can get up to 150 or 100 wins more than Plant, there's one hell of an argument for sure. Personally, my favorite goalie of all time, him and Dominik Hasek. I will always love two of those goalies. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. I'm predicting a 3-2 win for Montreal tonight in overtime. Let's see him get it done. Let's go Habs. Big game for Price. Big game for Galley. Come on, Galley, get another hat trick. Go Habs, go!